Have you ever been in an argument where you are clearly right? You have laid out all the facts, and suddenly the other person brings up a mistake you made 3 years ago. You were talking about their disrespect today, and now, somehow, you are defending yourself against something entirely different. This tactic is moving the goalposts, an act of desperation when someone can no longer defend their logic. They pivot to attacking your past character to trigger an emotional response. If you stop to defend yourself, they escape accountability. By implementing a framework called the boundary anchor, you can keep the focus on the current problem and maintain control of the conversation without ever raising your voice. To use this technique, you must first have a clear, logical point you are actively making before the manipulation begins. The second the other person shifts focus to your past, stop the conversation. Do not finish your sentence and do not follow their new lead. Avoid the reflex to defend yourself. Saying, "I apologized for that years ago," validates their distraction. Taking the bait surrenders control of the frame. Instead, let a cold 2-second silence fall over the room. Look them directly in the eyes with a calm, unbothered expression. This silence starves the manipulator of the chaotic energy they need. It pauses their momentum and signals that the conversation will not proceed on their terms. By remaining silent for those 2 seconds, you show that the attempt to shift the subject has failed to elicit an emotional reaction. During this silence, keep your posture steady, maintain direct eye contact, and keep your face neutral. Showing visible anger or raising the pitch of your voice communicates that their tactic is working. To keep control, you must remain physically still. When you finally speak, use a flat, monotone voice. Devoid of any emotional charge, your words become a statement of fact rather than an opening for debate. We are not talking about that right now. We are talking about what you just did. This phrasing acknowledges that they tried to pivot without actually engaging with the new topic. It returns the focus directly to their behavior. By combining a calm posture with this verbal boundary, you place the other person in a position where they have no aggression to push back against, yet they are being directed back to the original point. Immediately after anchoring the boundary, repeat your original point word for word. This reinforces that the subject has not changed. If the person is desperate to avoid accountability, they may try to change the subject a second time. If they do, absolutely refuse to follow them. Stay perfectly still, maintain eye contact, and use the final escalation script. Ask them, "Are you going to address the actual issue, or are you just going to keep changing the subject because you know you are wrong?" This repetition makes the deflection visible. The other person is now faced with a choice: address the actual behavior or end the conversation. At this point, you have anchored the conversation. The attempt to move the goalposts has failed. By refusing to engage with the distraction, you expose the desperation of the tactic. When a manipulator realizes their best trick does not get a reaction, they lose their leverage. Controlling the frame means you do not follow distractions. You demand accountability for the issue at hand. When you master your emotional response, you control the direction of the interaction. Subscribe to level up your psychology.